You are listening to Wilhelm, a film-centric podcast for film lovers of all kinds. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome to Wilhelm. I am your host, Ben Beck, and on this episode, we are accepting offers we couldn't refuse. That's right. On this episode, my guest and I are going to be revealing our choices for our top 5 favorite mafia / gangster / mob / crime, whatever you want to call it, our top 5 crime films. But of course, I need help to do that. So please welcome my guest for this episode of Wilhelm, Wendy Eppers.
Thank you. I've been so excited about joining you on Wilhelm. So I'm really excited to be here, and thanks for having me.
You've been so excited. You almost got the name wrong.
I know.
No, I'm excited to have you because you picked, I let anybody who requests to be a guest, I send them the list of all the topics that I have, like 200 plus topics. And this is one of the ones that you chose. So I'm excited to have you on for this one because I know you enjoy movies as like I do. I don't think we've ever had conversations about mafia movies before.
No, and I thought this would be easy.
It's not.
And no, it was not easy at all to pick these.
No. Narrowing it down to a top 5, like I had ideas in my head for movies that I wanted to put in my top 5. And then when I started looking at other films, I was like, well, that's got to go in my top 5. No, wait, that's got to go in my top 5. What? My top 5 is already full. Like, how am I going to do this?
Right. No, it was hard.
Yeah, we're going to have plenty of honorable mentions.
Yes. And a lot to say about them, probably.
I'm sure we will. But when you looked at the list, what was it about mafia movies that made you choose it?
I love mafia movies. Probably some of my favorite movies out there.
Were you a Sopranos fan?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Even that, I was like, well, that's not a movie. We can't talk about that.
Yeah, we can't fit it.
I know.
Although there is a movie coming that's like a prequel to The Sopranos.
Yeah, that's really exciting.
We just can't include it on this list yet because it's not out yet.
I think when the pandemic got started, I rewatched The Sopranos from the beginning to the end, and it was great. It was a great rewatch. It holds up. It was so well done. And I think that was one of the first movies, that and 6 Feet Under, that really got us hooked on streaming services and HBO and all of that. Yeah.
On like premium channels.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched The Sopranos since it aired, but it's one I've been meaning to go back to. But there's so much other great like film and television out there that it falls further and further behind on my list, and it becomes difficult. But I mean, you look at it had a great run of however many seasons it ran. I can't think off the top of my head.
I think it was 7 or 8.
I had 8 in my head too for some reason. And you look at it, the series finale is still highly contested on like open to interpretation of what the hell happened.
Yeah. And probably one of the most talked about finales.
Oh, I remember when that finale aired, I was living in a house with a roommate, and he was in his room watching that finale. I was in my room watching that finale. We were both watching it as it was airing. And when it got to that last moment, that don't stop moment where the screen went to black, we were like, did the cable just go out?
Yep.
Like, what happened? And then the credits started to roll. So, it's real interesting how that's interpreted by different people.
Yeah. And I think that's probably one of the best, satisfying, like ending seasons that we've had. Yeah. I was real happy with everything in that.
I can tell
series.
I can tell you one thing I've discovered by looking at my list, and I don't know if your list will tell you the same thing. But between my top 5 and my honorable mentions, one thing seems very, very clear, in that they have not made a good mafia movie or anything that memorable probably in 15 years. I mean, there are a couple.
Yeah, I see where you're going there.
But I mean, I'm looking at my list now, and with the exception of one or two, every movie on my list, both top 5 and honorable mention, is at least 15 years old.
Yeah, I feel like also the 80s and 90s was kind of those golden years for mafia movies. I will say that I saw that The Irishman, that's not on your list, is it?
It is not on my list. I have not seen it.
And I haven't seen it either. But when I looked at everything about it, I was like, why haven't I watched this? Because I heard it was good.
I mean, you look at the cast too with like Pesci and Pacino. Like, I think Pacino's in that one, or is that?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, and De Niro. Like,
yep,
it's a fantastic cast.
Yeah, so I think that's my homework. I have to watch that.
Yeah, it's in my queue. I just have not watched it yet.
Yeah,
and you know,
and that was like 2019, right? 2019, 2017.
Yeah, I think it was. No, 2019. I think you're right with that. 2019 might have even been last year. It might have been 2020.
Yeah, so that would be good to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, not on my list, even though it would probably make a number of people's top 5 list. There is one movie, though. I'm not going to say what it is just in case it is in your top 5 list. But there is one crime-related film that is at the top of many people's lists that I will freely admit I have never seen. It's a movie, being the huge cinephile that I am, especially having a movie-related podcast, I should have seen by now. I just, for some reason, have never, it's just avoided me watching it. So I'll wait and see if it comes up in any of either your top 5
and then
or
you'll
your
tell
honorable
us.
mentions, and then I'll tell you.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to reveal it now just in case it is in your top 5 or
your
honorable mentions. Exactly. I will tell you it's not part of a trilogy.
Okay. So, I was about to get off now.
I've seen all of them. So, and I will tell you the third one is not on any of my lists.
Okay. No, mine neither.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
No.
That said, you ready to jump into it?
I'm ready.
All right. So we're going to jump into our top 5, but we need to let you know ahead of time that neither Wendy or myself, if you haven't figured it out already, neither of us has revealed or discussed our choices to one another beforehand, as not to influence our choices. So she doesn't know my top 5 and I don't know hers. Also, just a fair warning, if you haven't seen any of the films that we're going to mention, there is definitely a possibility of spoilers. So just be prepared. That said, let's jump into it with our top 5 favorite crime, mafia, mob, whatever you want to call it, films.
Gangster.
Yep. Going from 5 to 1. Let's start at number 5. Wendy, where are you kicking us off?
All right. This is going to be a comedy.
Ooh. Okay.
Married to the Mob.
Okay. I thought of another comedy gang film too that I'm going to add it to my honorable mentions right now. As a matter of fact,
I have another comedy that is an honorable mention. I wanted to make it part of my top 5 so badly, but I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't bump any of the others off.
I'm wondering if it's the same one, but we'll see.
So this is Married to the Mob, 1988 film directed by Jonathan Demme, starring Michelle Pfeiffer, Matthew Modine, Alec Baldwin, and Mercedes Roll, who just plays this hilarious portrayal as the mob boss's wife. Joan Cusack is also in this movie. And I love this movie. My husband had to remind me of it. And when he reminded me, I went back and looked at some snippets. And I'm like, I have to include this because this was so hilarious. We loved it. Michelle Pfeiffer plays Angela DeMarco, an unhappily married mob wife whose husband is killed very early in the movie. And this leads to Angela trying to make a new life for herself while the mob boss is trying to bed her. His wife is trying to kill her. That's Mercedes Roll. And that part is just, I think, my favorite part of the movie. She's just so hilarious and over the top. The FBI is trying to turn her to gain evidence against the mob. And Matthew Modine's character, who plays Mike Downey, falls in love with Michelle Pfeiffer. It's almost slapstick comedy, but it really worked in this movie. And it's just, I laughed the whole time I watched it. Love this movie.
It's a movie I have not seen in quite a long time that I should add to that list of movies I need to revisit. Because in addition to the cast that you mentioned, I remember Dean Stockwell also being in the movie.
Yes.
And Oliver Platt.
And he's great. Yep.
Yeah, Dean Stockwell is fantastic in the movie. And Oliver Platt, who is another guy I am a big fan of. And I think it was relatively early in his career that he did the movie as well. So yeah, that's a movie I haven't seen in a long time.
It's very over the top, but it's just, you just laugh through the whole thing.
It's one of those movies that it reminds me very much, and this is another one. This is actually another gangster movie I just thought of that I will add to my honorable mentions, but I'll bring it up now instead. Hopefully it's not your other comedy that you have, but the movie Oscar.
That isn't it.
With Sylvester Stallone and Marissa Tomei and Tim Curry. Like, that is a movie I feel is very highly underrated. Really underrated. I have
not seen that one. So I'll have to add that to my list.
It's we'll mention it a little bit more in honorable mentions, but yeah, it's a Sylvester Stallone led mobster comedy.
That sounds hilarious right there.
Yeah, already sounds interesting. So, but no, that's a good pick. That's one I honestly didn't think to include any comedies in my list. I
didn't at first, but then then my husband was reminding me of a few that we've really loved back. And a lot of these were in the 80s and early 90s.
And what's worse now is that I've just now, because you mentioned a comedy in your top 5, I've just now added 2 more to my honorable mentions, not including Oscar, which I just mentioned. So there's already 2 more mob comedies that I just added that we'll get to in honorable mentions.
Okay.
Although one of them I'm looking at probably might even make my top 5 if I reconfigured everything, but I won't.
Yeah, you can't go down that rabbit hole.
I'm already committed at this point.
Yeah.
My number 5 on my top 5 list is a movie that I remember watching and absolutely loving the first time I watched. I thought it was so well done, and that is Road to Perdition from 2002 with Tom Hanks and Paul Newman.
That's great. That wasn't even on my honorable mention list, but should be.
It is an amazing movie based off of a book, which I haven't read the book, but I do, either a book or it might be a graphic novel series, if I remember correctly. Tom Hanks, Paul Newman are an amazing pair together. Tyler Hoechlin, who plays Tom Hanks's son in the movie, who is now grown up and he's the new Superman on television.
Wow.
So it's an amazing film. It's a mob enforcer's son witnesses a murder, forcing him and his father to take to the road and his father down a path of redemption and revenge.
Wow.
It's already, that alone is enough to watch it. And I think
I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember liking it a lot.
If I remember correctly, I think Jude Law is one of the gangsters in the movie. And I think Nicolas Cage even has a cameo in the movie as well. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah, that's a lot of star power.
But it's one of those ones that Daniel Craig, I remember, is in the movie as well. It's one of those movies that it's never left my head. And it will be a rewatch at some point relatively soon because it needs to be. So
I think I did rewatch it, but it's probably been 15 years.
I mean, I'll be honest to you, there is going to be an episode of Wilhelm sometime in the future of favorite Tom Hanks movies.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be
going to be hard too.
That's going to be a chore in itself.
Yeah.
Road to Perdition, I can already tell you, is in my top 5. It is one of my favorite Tom Hanks films of all time. So Let's move on then to number 4. What have you got?
All right, number 4 is a little film called Goodfellas.
Also in my top 5, but not at top 4. So
okay,
we'll get to it.
So this is a 1990 film directed by, shocker, Martin Scorsese, starring Robert De Niro, Ray Liotta, Joe Pesci, Lorraine Bracco, Paul Sorvino, Frank Vincent, who also played a very similar role in The Sopranos we were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael Imperioli also played in The Sopranos, but plays a really great but brief role as Spider, probably one of the more well-known scenes in the movie. Goodfellas is based on the novel of Nicholas Pileggi. It's called Wise Guy, and it's the real life story of Henry and Karen Hill and their life in the crime family of New York City in the 60s and 70s. This is on your top 5. This was at number.
This is also in my top 5. This is number 3.
Number 3.
Yeah. So a spot higher than yours, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
That's just,
some notable mentions in this film is it highlights the real life famous robbery of the Lufthansa cargo terminal heist at JFK International Airport in 1978. It's probably a lot of the mob movies are not based on real life, but some of them are. And this was one that was based loosely on the Irish Hill Gang in South Boston.
Yeah. I think there's a little bit of elements of reality in almost every mob movie. But I mean, a lot of them take creative liberties.
Yeah.
And I think Goodfellas is one of the ones that is more based on actual events than not.
Yeah. I thought Joe Pesci kind of stole the show in Goodfellas.
Pesci absolutely steals the show of this movie.
As the kind of sociopath Tommy.
And we just got to mention a shine box, and that's all it takes.
Yes. A couple tidbits about this I thought that was really interesting was Martin Scorsese stated, and this is kind of funny coming from 2021 eyes. He stated that he had sworn off gangster movies, but then he got wind of Nicholas Pileggi's book and he immediately cold called him and said, "I've been waiting for this book my entire life." And the author stated, "I've been waiting for this phone call my entire life." And I actually kind of soured on this movie for a while just because I had read a lot about Henry Hill and he seemed such a loathsome character. And I think he got a lot of kind of undeserved fame for the movie. And I don't know, somehow that turned me off a little bit, but he's gone now and the movie is amazing. And so I don't let that affect me any longer.
Well, I mean, and that's not, that's not the only, I completely get that. Like when an actual notorious criminal ends up getting fame because of them telling his story, whether it's, commercialized or, creative liberties, it still brings attention to that character.
Yes.
So, I mean, you're right. Maybe it would have been a movie that would have been better served after Henry Hill was already gone, so that this way he didn't get as much attention to it. But, it is what it is. It's, there's actually a movie in my honorable mentions that's very similar to that. It was actually about an actual character who ended up getting a lot of fame out of it. And, and it's because of the movie that was made about them.
And a lot of true to life, like people that were involved in this case, real life people, stated that his book was over exaggerated and that he wasn't as major of a character in all of this that he portrayed. But this is fictional. It's loosely based on real life, but it is a fictional show. And I thought it was so well done. And whatever they got from all of that translated so well to the screen. So I'm appreciative of that.
Yeah, I mean, and whether or not you liked Henry Hill as a person, Ray Liotta is just a magnificent actor.
Yes.
Portraying that role. I mean, it's one of those roles that he does that even though there's nothing done to change his physical appearance or anything, he still disappears into that character.
He does.
You don't realize you're watching Ray Liotta. You think you're watching Henry Hill.
Yep. Yeah, and he did a great job. I mean, this is just an all-star cast. Amazing.
And when you mention Ray Liotta, most people like Goodfellas is the very first thing they think of.
Yep.
You know, because he did so well portraying that character.
A couple other little tidbits I thought was funny about the movie is Tommy's mother is played by Martin Scorsese's mother,
Yes.
Catherine Scorsese.
Yep. I did know that.
I did not know that until I just looked it up. I thought that was really great. And this one also has a great soundtrack. I love it.
I don't remember. I mean, I remember the soundtrack being good, but I don't remember off the top of my head any of the songs.
It's good. I'd put that on and play it when you're not busy, right?
Yeah. I think, well, let me see. That's the beauty of it is even when I'm busy, I always have time for music.
Put it on the car. Yeah.
It's on in the car or on the computer while I'm working on other things. So it's, you know, I always have time for music. So I can definitely look it up. And I think I don't remember if Goodfellas came up as an honorable mention for either Steve or I during the soundtrack episode. It did. Okay. Yes. Did I bring it up or did Steve bring it up?
Steve brought it up.
I thought so. Okay. Because I figured I would have.
Yeah, I remember.
I would have remembered if I did.
Yeah. It's a great soundtrack. So. It's not my best on this list, but it's good.
Nice. So my number 4, oddly enough, you bring up Martin Scorsese, who said he was done with mob movies before
I know, right?
Goodfellas. My number 4 is a little movie called The Departed from 2006. This is my number 1. Okay. I won't dive too deep into it then. I'll save some of it for when we get to number 1 so that you can kind of explore into it too.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is one of those movies that had me from the trailer, even before I saw it. I mean, you already have me sold with Scorsese behind it. But I mean, you look at the casting alone, Martin Sheen, Jack Nicholson, Mark Wahlberg, Matt Damon, Leo DiCaprio. It literally is a who's who of anybody who has ever worked with Scorsese, for starters. Like, this is basically Scorsese pulling everybody he's loved working with into one film and making that film about the one thing he loves making film about. And that's crime. And
it's kind of hilarious that 16 years ago, he was saying he was done with mobster movies.
And I know he's made a number since then.
Yeah.
Yes, I think he did. Did Scorsese do The Irishman?
I'm not sure. I know De Niro and Pacino was in it. It seems like that would be fitting.
Yeah, he did. I'm looking at it now.
Of course he did.
Of course he did The Irishman.
I think he's not done.
Well, I mean, just again, like looking at The Irishman, Boardwalk Empire, which was another amazing HBO series about crime in like the 20s and 30s in Atlantic City.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, but it's on my list.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's a commitment though. It's a lot of hours.
It is, but I will tell you, like, when you say like, oh, it's a crime series and Steve Buscemi is the lead, like,
who's amazing. Also was in The Sopranos,
and he's phenomenal.
Yeah,
he's phenomenal in the lead of that. You look at The Departed, Shutter Island, Gangs of New York, Casino, Goodfellas. Like, yeah, he's The Color of Money, which in many ways is a crime movie. He's just he loves crime, and
and he's great at it.
He's good at it. He's really good at it. So there was no way. There are probably some people out there who would say The Departed should be higher on my list, but
that would be me.
Yeah, I mean, it's your number 1.
Yeah,
and I'll let you go into it a little bit more when we get to that too. Which will be shortly. But yeah, I couldn't go and not include The Departed in my top 5. It had to be in there. It was one of those ones that I looked at and I was like, yep, no movie will be bumping this out of my top 5.
Yeah.
So, top 3 now. Where do you stand with your number 3?
All right. Number 3 is Scarface.
This is the one I mentioned I have never seen before.
What?
Right?
That's your homework.
It is. It's the one movie I know I should have seen at this point.
How did you escape the 80s without that?
Well, I don't know. Well, let's not forget too that I was also born in 79. So at no point in the 80s was I old enough to watch Scarface.
So you were 4 when it came out.
Yeah. So at no point in the 80s was I old enough to watch Scarface.
Yeah, I certainly didn't see it at the theater, but I definitely saw this. I mean, this was middle school and high school years for me. So I definitely know I saw it on VHS fairly early as a teenager. 1983, directed by Brian De Palma, and screenplay is by Oliver Stone, starring Al Pacino, of course, Stephen Bauer, Michelle Pfeiffer, Mary Elizabeth I'm going to say her name wrong, Mastrantonio.
Yep.
Robert Loggia, Paul Shinar.
Robert Loggia.
Yeah, Loggia. Tells the story of Tony Montana, who came from the gutter as a Cuban convict released from prison during the Mariel Exodus of 1980, which is all real history that happened. Cuba emptied out their prisons and Jimmy Carter accepted them all. Finds himself in a Florida refugee camp, and he climbs himself up to be the cocaine king of Florida. Just a couple tidbits about this. I mean, it's so well known, well quoted. So many people know the scenes and quotes from this. It originally received an X rating. They made some cuts and resubmitted, came back with an X again, and then a third time again. Brian De Palma asked for a hearing and brought in a panel of experts, including real narcotics officers, who stated that not only was it an accurate portrayal of real life in the drug underworld, but that it was actually an anti-drug film and needed to be publicized. So the MPSS finally agreed to have the third cut accepted with an R rating. However, Brian De Palma didn't think anybody would notice, so he just submitted the original cut. Never told anyone about it until after the video release had already gone through. So no one knew that.
That's awesome. I didn't know that either.
Yeah. I thought that was really just fascinating. This is a great movie. Over the top. I mean, how much more over the top can you get than Tony Montana?
Yeah.
Just so well done. Steven Spielberg was a longtime friend of Brian De Palma, and he directed one of the finale shots that probably a lot of people remember. It's a low angle shot where the attackers first enter the house in the finale. And I was going to ask, what is your favorite quotable moment of Scarface? But I won't. But I think like "Say hello to your my little friend."
Yep,
is classic. You know, I don't know if you ever watched Entourage.
Oh yeah,
but they quoted this a lot, and Adrian Grenier does a imitation of him where he says, "I come from the gutter." And it's just great. I love that.
It's funny. I mean, like, even though I've never seen Scarface, it is so engulfed in pop culture at this point. So many people have mimicked it or spoofed it or paid homage to it in so many different ways. I mean, like there's anybody who's familiar with the group Lonely Island, which is Andy Samberg's group from SNL. I mean, they even did a video where they were talking, like they had Michael Bolton singing about Pirates of the Caribbean. And in that video, he mimics Tony Montana as Scarface. I mean, so like,
it's great.
It's engulfed in pop culture in so many ways that it still does surprise me that I've never seen it.
Yes, surprises me.
And I just, for some reason, so I have homework to do.
Yes.
It will be the top of my list because I know there are probably people listening who are thinking the same thing you are. And like, how have you never seen? You don't deserve a movie podcast. You've never seen Scarface.
And it's quite, I think it's pretty long. It's a long movie.
It's 2 hours and 50 minutes long.
Yeah.
Which for 1983, that was unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are not movies that long from that far back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the earliest movie I can think of before that was like, I think Titanic, which was 97.
Yep.
I think. And that was almost 3 hours long.
Yeah. 83. Yeah. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah. I was 4 years old.
Yeah.
So but it is on my Wendy Eppers homework list, right below Mean Girls.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
which you have also told me to put on my list.
Definitely.
So no, I had a feeling that was going to be in your top 3, which is one of the reasons why I didn't mention it early on. I wanted to wait to see where it was going to come up because I knew if it wasn't in your top 5, it would be one of my mentions.
Yeah, you have to put it on here. You have to.
It'll be in my homework. It's funny because I have a playlist on my computer that I created with Wilhelm that I just called it Wilhelm. And it's pretty much anytime there's a movie that I want to revisit or I need to watch for the first time, I add it into that playlist. Yeah. So I'm actually keeping track. I mean, this will be the 8th episode and there already are probably a good 10 movies in there.
Wow.
Not just from like that movies that might have come up in conversation, not necessarily in top 5s or honorable mentions, but might have been mentioned, in conversation. So I'm keeping track of everything. Because that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this podcast I think
listening to these podcasts makes me realize how many I have missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the point. Like, I want to be introduced to movies I've never seen before, but I want to also introduce people to movies they might not have seen before. So I will add Scarface to the Wilhelm playlist.
Good.
And I will move it towards the top because I find it wrong that I have not seen this movie.
I'd like to know if it holds up too, because it is pretty dated.
You're talking
like when you watch it, it's dated.
Yeah,
so
I mean, you're talking 37 years.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah.
I will let you know. I will let you know when I watch it. My number 3, we kind of already talked about and dove into, and that was Goodfellas. I really don't know how much more I can say about it that we kind of already didn't, because it's a movie that speaks for itself. Ray Liotta stands out. Joe Pesci stands out. Pesci is just, I need to add to the list of topics a Joe Pesci episode of Wilhelm.
Yeah. Like, this is the role of a lifetime for Pesci. Like,
oh, absolutely.
Yeah. He put everything. And it was interesting when I was reading some of the trivia on it. He said that he would ad lib like in rehearsal, but then he would record himself doing that. And then he would create that as part of the script. So it was a lot of effort went into that.
He is incredibly clever when it comes to his acting. I mean, let's not forget, obviously like My Cousin Vinny and such, but you look at movies like Home Alone and Home Alone 2 with Pesci, like you look at the character of the characters of Harry and Marv, and like he played Harry, one of the bandits, and he does that like the talking under, and how that came to be was because he was constantly cursing or wanted to curse on set because that's what he's used to doing in all these movies. And they had to kept telling him like, no, this is a family film. You cannot swear in this movie. So that's his way. That was how he got past it. Yeah. By making those sounds. Like that was Pesci cursing just in Pesci language.
He's very talented. You can really see it. Yeah. He really, he's not somebody who's just showing up and reading lines. He's crafting it to be better than it was.
Yeah, exactly. And I mentioned it already, but I love My Cousin Vinny.
Yes.
The movie is so good.
I didn't even think about that one.
It's so good. I don't know if it qualifies for mob or anything, but it's
sort of, yeah.
It's still a great movie. It's so good. That brings us into our top 2 favorite films. What have you got for number 2?
All right. I think this one's on yours as well.
We'll find out.
It's The Godfather.
It is in an honorable mention spot.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So I almost didn't go there because it's so the epitome of mafia movies.
It's so iconic. It's
yeah. But I felt like I had to. And I would like to make mine be the chronological movie. So I've seen a lot of networks, and I'm sure there's like a VHS edition of it as well, will air Godfather 1 and 2. I think they just pretend like 3 doesn't exist. And they air it in chronological order. They put the scenes in chronological order. And I think I've watched that several times and it's really good. And I think that's the best telling of The Godfather.
It's the Godfather trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure the third movie there are scenes from the third movie included.
Okay.
But it's not the full third movie.
Right.
Because the running time of that is 7 hours. I have watched it as well, and some people might know what I'm mentioning and others not. It is on my server.
Great.
Yeah. So,
and I actually like the old stuff better than anything. The telling of the story of how the Godfather came to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really fascinating. I love that. So it's, Francis Ford Coppola, who wrote the Godfather 1, and then he wrote Godfather 2 as well. Directed. It was written by Mario Puzo.
Yes.
But Francis Ford Coppola wrote the second one, starring Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, James Caan, Robert Duvall, Diane Keaton, Talia Shire. So good. And the second one was Robert De Niro as well, right?
Yes.
Yep. So just kind of the epitome of mafia movies. And I think probably what got all mafia movies started becoming so popular. Have you read the book?
I have not read the book.
The book is great.
I have been curious as to if I wanted to, like, it's been something I've thought about. I just haven't done it yet. I will tell you a cool piece of trivia for whether you know it or not, or some other people might not know it. There is a part of the Godfather films that resides here in Philadelphia, where I'm from. The Moshulu boat on the Delaware River, which is now a restaurant, is the boat. I believe it's in the Godfather Part 2, where you see Vito Corleone come to America.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
The boat that he is on was the Moshulu, which is now a restaurant in the Philadelphia, down on the river.
Well, that's really cool.
Yeah. And I've been on the Moshulu, and it's,
wow,
as a movie buff, like, it's kind of cool to be like, oh, like, I'm standing on a piece of cinema history and eating dinner.
Yeah, and 1972, like, that was earlier than almost everything else on our list.
1972, I think, is the earliest of anything I have on my list, as a matter of fact. Nope, I do. I have one earlier in my honorable mentions.
Okay.
I have one movie that's a little bit earlier in my honorable mentions. That's a good one. There is a reason why The Godfather is in my honorable mentions and not in my top 5. But we will get to that shortly.
Okay.
My number 2 is a movie. When we were preparing to record this, I said that there's one movie in my top 5 that you might not have ever heard of before. It is a movie that, when you look online and you look at, like, the top gangster movies of all time, it doesn't even make IMDb's top 100.
Oh, wow.
But I love this movie. I've seen it more times than I can count. and I saw it in theaters the weekend it opened. It's a movie from 1996 called Last Man Standing.
Never even heard of it.
A drifting gunslinger for hire finds himself in the middle of an ongoing war between the Irish and Italian mafia in a Prohibition-era ghost town. It is a mafia movie mixed with a Western. And it stars Bruce Willis, Bruce Dern, Christopher Walken, Michael Imperioli, Ken Jenkins, Leslie Mann, John Paxton, Patrick Kilpatrick, who I've actually had on my Spotlight podcast before. And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I even brought up this movie, which is a shame. William Sanderson, it has an amazing cast, and it is just who would have thought that mixing a mafia movie with a Western
and Bruce Willis
would be and Christopher.
Now that you say it, it does seem a little familiar. Like, I don't
think I've seen it, but I can see a picture in my head with Willis.
Yeah. And Bruce Willis is the lead character who just goes by John Smith. He never reveals his name in the entire movie. He is the go-between. Like, he's the drifter that comes into town while there is this war between Irish and Italian mafias together. And he kind of brilliantly, not to give anything away, but like brilliantly plays both sides so that he can end up ultimately victorious over both. And it's so brilliantly written. It was directed by Walter Hill, who really, even to this day, hasn't done much. He's done some episodes of Deadwood, which is kind of fitting when you look at Last Man Standing being in a Western setting. It's based on Akira Kurosawa, who did like Seven Samurai. It's based on a story that Akira Kurosawa did. I just can't remember the name of the story. For the life of me. And Christopher Walken is amazing in the movie as well.
Yeah.
He has no dialogue. At least
I have to watch this. This is all my homework.
I don't think he has any dialogue, I think, until the end of the movie. Like, he's almost a mime. For most of the film.
Wow.
It's worth a watch. I, for the life of me, don't know how it's not on any top 100. I don't see how it didn't at least make the top 100. But there are a ton of other great movies out there, so it might have just missed the list.
Yeah.
So, that brings us to our number ones. Now, we already know yours, which is The Departed.
The Departed, yeah.
But I'm gonna, tell me a little bit more about why you chose it and what you love about it.
I love this movie. It's probably one of, like, if I had to pick top 10 movies, which would be really hard, this would probably be on it. It won 4 Oscars, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Writing. But of course, Leonardo DiCaprio did not get a Best Oscar for this.
No, he got cheated out of it.
It's the only remake of a foreign film to win an Oscar for Best Picture. The film is a remake of the 2002 Hong Kong film called Internal Affairs.
Which is also a really good watch if you ever have an opportunity to watch it.
And this made me want to.
Yeah.
I just think it's such a stellar cast. I love this role. I love Leonardo DiCaprio in this. Like, Matt Damon's amazing also, and we don't see Matt Damon play a bad guy too often. And this was a real bad guy.
Yeah.
And I think the attention to detail in this movie is amazing. To me, it's like Scorsese just built on all of his other movies and kind of perfected his gangster telling in here. Mark Wahlberg has a smaller role, but just steals every scene he is in. Love him in this movie. And I think I love movies that have the balls to resist the Hollywood ending. And this one does that so well. I can't even say like there's one scene that does it. Like, every turn of the movie is very unexpected. Just as soon as you think you know where the movie's going, it switches up on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, it just kills off main developed characters mid, right in the middle of the movie.
Yeah,
and you're so shocked.
It pulls no punches whatsoever. I mean, it's one of those
No.
movies that like you have to tell people like don't get used to anyone
No.
in this movie.
And you think like and again, this is spoiler alerts, but you think the scene where Jack Nicholson dies is like, well, that's the end, but it just keeps going. And the climactic scene with DiCaprio and Damon and Anthony Anderson and James Badge Dale is so tense and so unexpected. And it just has the balls to go to that and to that non-Hollywood ending that I thought was just so important for this movie to keep the status that it has.
Yeah. It's a movie rightfully so that it should be higher on my list than just number 4.
Well, it's got a lot of competition, but for me, it's number 1. I just love it. It never gets old. Every time I see it on my cable lineup, I have to turn it on. Love it.
It's getting added to the Wilhelm playlist because it's one I need to go back and rewatch. Because
I have seen it recently. It's good.
I don't think I've watched it probably the past 10 years.
Oh no, I definitely have. And the
been a
soundtrack is top notch as well.
Oh, like I said, when I said that the movie had me from the trailer, Rolling Stones in the trailer, that was like, okay, I'm in. Like, that was all I needed to be in.
Yeah, it's got great.
Gimme Shelter from the Rolling Stones
Yep.
is an amazing song. Use it in a Scorsese trailer. Yep.
That's it. You're done.
I'm sold. That's all I need.
So that's my number 1. It's great.
So my number 1, I mentioned earlier how The Godfather is in my honorable mentions list. And the reason for that is because my number 1 is The Godfather Part 2.
I can see that.
I don't get me wrong. I love The Godfather. I think it is an outstanding movie. To me, I think The Godfather Part 2 slightly outshines it. It's probably been about 15 years since I've seen any Godfather movie, so I can't really dive into too many particulars because it is out of memory a little bit, but it's in enough memory to know that even when I watched them, every time I watch them, and when I say them, I mean 1 and 2 because I don't watch 3. I don't watch 3 at all.
Yeah. I just recently
there was a marathon on TV that I certainly didn't sit there and watch it the whole time, but I watched a good portions of it. And 2 is definitely up there. It's a great movie.
Yeah, I like the story of Michael and the expansion of the crime family, and it's just I think each movie has iconic moments in their own. But story-wise, I think just Godfather Part 2 is just a stronger movie. Not by much, but to me, it's a stronger movie.
And I think the scenes of when the Godfather was young and just coming to America, I think those are probably some of my favorite scenes in the whole trilogy.
Yeah, I mean, and those are the scenes I mentioned earlier with the Mashulu.
Yeah.
With the Mashulu ship that's another reason I think that was another reason why when I actually stepped foot on the Mashulu, I was kind of like, wow, like this is, I'm on the ship that Vito Corleone came to America on. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Great. So yeah, I just think they're both amazing movies. And you're right. Like, it's kind of like, it seems almost cliche to put a Godfather movie in a top spot. Like whether it be top 1 or top 2 or top 3,
but you have to.
Like, it's it's cliche, but it's cliche for a reason, because those movies are just, you look at Godfather Part 1 was 1972, Godfather Part 2 was 74, so only 2 years later.
Yeah,
Godfather Part 2 is 3 hours and 20 minutes. When you look at those 2 movies, there hasn't been a movie since, crime or otherwise, that I think has come close to being as good of a movie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Godfather...
nothing is epic.
I mean, Godfather and Godfather Part 2 not only deserve to be in the top 3 of favorite crime films, there's arguments to be made they deserve to be in the top 3 films of all time.
And let's face it here, most of these movies that we've talked about end with the main character dying.
That's usually how it happens in the mob, unfortunately.
And The Godfather was one of those that didn't. So that made it kind of special, and that was able to have the other sequels.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I couldn't. While The Godfather Part 1 was an honorable mention, the reason behind it was I didn't want to take 2 spots in my top 5 for 2 Godfather movies. So I was like, all right, I'll take my favorite of the 2, put that in my top 5, and the other one will get knocked honorable.
Yeah, I wanted to do the chronological. That
was a good way to do it. And I don't know why I didn't think to do the same thing.
I remember I was so tickled when they did that the first time. And I was like, well, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And so that's always been my favorite way to watch it. And they don't usually, it's only once in a while that they'll actually show it that way.
I think I'm trying to remember. I think it was TNT that did it. I can't remember what network showed it, but I do remember when it was shown. And I do remember like seeing the advertisements for it. And it was like, oh, this is going to be like with commercials. It's like a 10-hour, like all day event. And I'm like, who wants to sit for 10 hours to watch it? And then I remember starting it and I'm like, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's still more. Oh yeah. There's still 7 hours to go. I'm in. Like I got commercial breaks to take bathroom breaks. I'm good.
Yeah. I'll turn a lot of that on like while I'm cooking or cleaning or something. So it's in the background.
Yeah.
The Departed was a show that I watched all the time in the background while I was studying for nursing school, because I have to have background noise. I can't have silence, and you can't have something that you're actually like, you haven't seen before,
because you'll sit and watch it.
Yeah.
You won't get any work done.
So The Departed was something I would always turn on because it was long and it was kind of quiet. The speaking was kind of quiet. And so that got me through nursing school.
But see, even though I've seen it, The Departed is such an engaging movie.
Yeah.
That that's a movie I couldn't even put on in the background because I would sit and watch it.
Yeah, well,
every time.
Yeah, I had enough of it that I was able to do it.
For me, it's like The Shawshank Redemption. Like The Shawshank Redemption, I can't put on as a background movie. I will sit and watch it.
Yeah, you find yourself intrigued all over again.
The Shawshank Redemption, I mentioned this on the very first episode of Wilhelm, is my favorite movie of all time. So there's no way if I'm watching it, if it's on, I'm watching it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not background. You know, I'm watching it.
That's a show that has a lot of layers too.
Oh, absolutely. And another amazing cast as well. I'm sure it'll come up again in future episodes of Wilhelm. There's always the Morgan Freeman episode.
Yep.
Or the Tim Robbins episode.
Wow.
Cool. So yeah, the great top 5 from your end. And I'm pretty proud of mine. But let's knock out some honorable mentions. These are ones we don't have to dive into. We can just kind of list off a couple here and there.
Sure.
And these are ones that didn't necessarily make our top 5 and such. So what's 1 or 2 that you have on your honorable mentions list?
How about 1997 Donnie Brasco?
That is on mine as well.
Johnny Depp.
Yep. It is another great movie that is almost made my top 5.
Kind of one of Johnny Depp's first real serious roles.
True. Yeah, because before that it was like What's Eating Gilbert Grape and such. So yeah, that was it's a big turn in his career to do something like that.
And I think he did a great job with that.
I do too.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, one of my honorable mentions is another Johnny Depp film from 2015, Black Mass, where he played Whitey Bulger.
Yes, I have not seen that. That's going on my list.
That is one of the...
I'm a little obsessed with Whitey Bulger, so yeah.
That is the movie I mentioned earlier where I said it was based on an actual character and it brought fame to that character. Because I think at the time Black Mass had come out, was being filmed and released in theaters, because I think it says it at the end, he was still at large.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until shortly afterwards he was found, and I think he's since passed,
Well, he was killed almost immediately in prison. Yeah.
But yeah, at the time Black Mass was released in theaters,
Mhm.
he was still at large. He was still not found.
Yeah, he lived on the lam for like 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
Something crazy.
And it's a role that I will be completely on. I mean, there are definitely prosthetics involved to make Johnny Depp look more like Whitey Bulger.
Mhm.
And Depp always dives into characters.
Yes.
Like, he dives really deep into characters.
He brings it.
And this is another one of those roles that, like, it wasn't even 20 minutes into the movie, you forget it's Johnny Depp.
Yep.
Where you are watching Whitey Bulger.
Yep.
And it's
I have to put that on my list.
Yep. You really should. I saw it in theaters and I was blown away at how good it was.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's like they portray his character so well and make him kind of so intimidating and frightening, because I didn't know anything about Whitey Bulger going into the movie. Anything I learned from Whitey Bulger, I first learned from Black Mass. And at the end of the movie, when they show the caption, like, to this day, Whitey Bulger is still at large, that actually frightened me a little bit.
Yeah.
It was like, this
well, and it's kind of
is still alive.
And in the US, like, that's kind of amazing that he was able to get away with that for as long as he was. That's kind of, there's, you know, we have people that have fled the country and they're in Colombia or Mexico or Brazil, but this is somebody that was living in California.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Kind of crazy.
So
yeah.
That's, if you have not seen Black Mass, that's one to add to your list for sure.
Yeah.
So what's another on your honorable mentions?
All right. So the honorable mention that caused me the most pain of not putting on my list was The Freshman. Have you ever seen that?
Yes. Matthew Broderick.
1990. Matthew Broderick and Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to put it on my top 5 so badly, but one had to go, and this is the one that made it. But I loved this. I thought it was hilarious.
When you said you had another comedy on your list, I had a feeling. That's because when I said I added 2 comedies to mine, The Freshman was one of them.
Yeah, I loved this. And it's a hilarious movie. It's the best of Broderick. I also thought it's almost a parody of Mafia movies. And in the movie, they actually play clips of Godfather 2. Broderick is in film class. He plays a student in film class, and they're watching clips of Godfather 2. I thought that was hilarious. Gianna Russi, who played Carlo in Godfather, is in it, and Bruno Kirby, who played a young Clemenza in Godfather 2, is in it.
Yep.
This was one that I think my husband and I actually saw in the theaters back in 90, and we both loved it and thought it was hilarious.
It's such a great movie that I haven't seen probably in about 20 years.
Yeah, I haven't either.
But the moment you said I have a comedy, the first thing I thought of was The Freshman.
I thought it was really funny. I in the notes, it said that the director, Andrew Bergman, the whole time he wrote this movie, he thought that only Marlon Brando could play that role. And so he begged Brando to do the movie. Brando invited him over to his house, where he said, like, Brando was just this like stream of consciousness talking for 2 days. And finally he said, well, what about the movie? And Brando said he didn't think he could do the movie because he felt like the part was too close to The Godfather. And so Bergman came up with this idea on the fly that Brando's role would be that he would be the real life person that the movie The Godfather was based on. And somehow Brando just went with that and was like, okay, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. It's so well done. It's definitely getting added to the playlist of a movie I need to revisit.
Yeah, me too.
Because all I remember, like, from what I remember most about the movie is the fact that, like, they're sending Matthew Broderick's character on trips, like it's something they're sending him on a task that he
like
needs
errands,
to do, and he thinks it's one thing while it's something like completely innocent. because he knows the family is like mob connected. So he thinks he's going to do these nefarious things, but in reality, like he's going to pick up, I think like it's a kimono dragon.
Yeah. And it was
or
like
something.
It was this hilarious premise that the mob was sponsoring a feast where all the animals were actually extinct.
Yeah.
And so people would pay a lot of money to eat them. So they're going to eat this Komodo dragon. It was just like, who thinks up this stuff?
Yeah. It's so well done.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's in your honorable mentions too.
Yeah.
When you mentioned comedy, like I said, that was one of the first ones I went to. The other comedy though that I added to mine, because we were talking about comedies, Johnny Dangerously.
That one.
Johnny Dangerously with Michael Keaton, Griffin Dunn.
Yep.
Oh God, so Danny DeVito. So many characters.
I've seen it, but I think I only saw it the once.
Now, I mean, you talk about like how there was the thought that The Freshman could be a spoof of The Godfather.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Dangerously is absolutely a spoof. Like there's no question about it. It is a spoof movie of mob films.
Yeah.
I forget God, Bob Hale, I think who's Skipper in Gilligan's Island, right? And he's in Johnny Dangerously as well. He's like the calling all cars guy.
Wow.
In the movie, and he's fantastic. And oh God, it's so good. I couldn't not bring it up. It doesn't, obviously it's very different from any other mafia movie we've talked about so far, but I think it counts.
Yeah.
I think it counts.
What else do you have?
Do you have more?
Oh, I have more.
I have about 4 more, but if you have more, what's another one on your side?
So I think one that I came pretty close to putting on my top 5 was The Untouchables.
Yes, I was so like, I wanted it in my top 5 so bad, because I mean, Kevin Costner and Sean Connery,
all-star cast.
But again, De Niro, Garcia, De Niro is probably in most of the movies we have mentioned today. So
it's a pretty bleak, movie. Pretty, I think that's probably why I didn't have it up there. It's kind of dark and bleak, but it was so good, and also based on real life.
Yeah, based on actual events. I mean, and you look at we mentioned in Scarface about like the whole "say hello to my little friend" and how there are moments that are engulfed in pop culture. That baby stroller down the staircase scene in Untouchables is another one that has been done in other films, whether paid homage to or spoofed or whatever. It's a famous scene from that movie.
Done in Batman, in The Joker or something like that?
I don't remember.
I think it was. I sort of remember that.
I know it was done in a spoof movie as well. And I think it's either one of the Naked Gun movies or it might have been Spy Hard with Leslie Nielsen. I can't remember what spoof movie it was, but I know it's been spoofed before too. I want to say it's a Hot Shots movie, but that could even be wrong. I don't know. I definitely need to do a spoof movie episode of Wilhelm as well. But yeah, Godfather is absolutely on my list as well. Like it could not be. I mentioned a movie that was older than The Godfather, only by a year. And that is The French Connection.
Didn't even think of that one.
French Connection with Gene Hackman and Roy Scheider. Just a phenomenal movie. It's just, it's about New York cops with narcotics and just fighting like the French that come in for like drug smuggling.
What year is that?
1971.
Wow. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, I always find it fascinating to, I don't know why I find it fascinating, but I love it when I find movies that are from before my time that I absolutely love. I think more people should explore movies from before their time, especially the younger generation.
Mm-hmm.
If you were born in the 90s, please watch movies from before 1990.
Yeah.
Because there's so many great movies from
Yeah.
before that time.
Yep.
But yeah, I love like even going back even further, like these aren't crime movies, but like some of my favorite movies, like one of my favorite, I really haven't said this much, but it's a movie that would probably be in my top 10 favorite movies of all time is Arsenic and Old Lace, which is going back.
I've seen that.
Going back to like the 1930s, 1940s with Jimmy Stewart. Like,
yeah,
I love, like, it doesn't matter what time period a movie was made. A good movie is a good movie.
I just put The Marathon Man on my request list.
I saw that.
That's great. Have you seen that?
In years.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
been
a great
years since
movie.
I've seen
Yeah.
it.
I don't know why that just came to me.
So,
I mean,
that. It's a shame that Hackman retired from acting, but I
Mhm.
mean, you know, this is Hackman in his heyday. It's
Oh yeah.
French Connection is just it's a phenomenal film.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's another one?
Analyze This.
Oh, great movie.
Did you have that on your list?
I didn't.
Yeah. I thought that's just such a great comedy. You have to include that.
Hey, and guess who's
Yeah.
in that movie? De Niro.
Weird.
It's
I
odd.
was
Isn't
thinking
it?
about that. Like, how many films has De Niro done that has mafia component in it?
I mean, like
A lot.
he has some kind of either mafia crime, or if it's
Yeah.
not mafia crime, there's something shady
Yeah.
about his character.
Yeah.
I mean, even to the point where in Meet the Parents, there's a
Yep.
shady element to his
Yeah.
character in the first movie.
Yep.
Like, but he plays it so well.
Yeah. He plays a pretty straight guy, but then it's like you don't know what else is there. Yeah.
I remember I'm looking it up now because I don't remember the name of it, but I remember there was one movie that had De Niro and Pacino that like they were really, really, really pushing it to be like this amazing movie. It's like it's these two guys together, like headlining this movie, Righteous Kill.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
And I remember watching it and thinking like, it's all right.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as great as you made it out to be. And I kind of predicted the ending halfway through, but it's all right. You know, it's one of those things that like you think when you get like these two heavyweight people together for the first time to headline a movie, it's going to be amazing. Oh, maybe if you got Scorsese behind it, it would have been amazing.
Yeah.
But you were lacking some stuff to make it amazing. It's good, not amazing. So, but oh god, Analyze This and Analyze That are great.
Yes.
movies.
Yeah. All right.
I just remember the scene where Billy Crystal, like when they're in the therapy session and De Niro shoots the pillow.
Yeah.
And Billy Crystal's like, feel better? He's like, I do.
And that's a great combination of people in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lisa Kudrow, Billy Crystal, De Niro.
Yeah, Lisa Kudrow. Oh, that's so funny.
Great movies. They need to go on the list as well. They definitely need to go on the list as well. I have one or two more.
Okay.
Once Upon a Time in America.
That's on my list.
With Robert De Niro.
I know, right?
But also Joe Pesci, Danny Aiello, James Woods, from 1984, I believe it was.
Was that 84? Wow.
Yeah, but also another long
Mhm.
movie, like I think almost 4 hours long.
That's crazy.
Once Upon a Time in America.
I haven't seen that in a long time, but I remember that I really liked it.
But I mean, it deals with the Jewish mob
Mhm.
in Prohibition time, and it's a fantastic movie. It's De Niro playing mob in New York. It's you know, it's a formula that works. So one I need to revisit as well.
Mhm.
Again, I'm adding so many movies to this list after this episode. What's another one on your
Another one
side?
I would add is Casino.
Pesci,
Yeah.
brilliant,
Yeah. It's great. It's graphic.
very graphic.
It's jarring.
But kind of, you can't look away. It's great. I was a little, I wanted that to be on my top 5 too, but I couldn't. make that happen.
That's Sharon Stone as well, too, right?
Yeah, Sharon Stone.
Yeah.
Yep. And she's great in that.
It's been a number of years since I've seen that as well.
Yep.
So I have one more on my list, and then you can go through any others that you have on yours. But the last one I have is one from 2012 called Killing Them Softly with Brad Pitt.
I haven't seen that.
It's Brad Pitt, Ray Liotta, and James Gandolfini. And it's one of James Gandolfini's final roles as well in film.
Wow.
It is quite honestly, it's probably one of Brad Pitt's best films. It's really good. I'm
adding that to my list.
He plays a mob enforcer who's hired to kind of restore order in the mob.
Wow.
And it
seems like an unlikely role for Pitt.
It kind of is, but what's weird about it too is like it's 2012, so it's not like a telling from like years ago. So like it's not like a 1920s mob story. It's a mob story that takes place in 2012, and oddly, it sounds weird, but it's a mob movie that takes place in like the housing bubble crash. Where financials really played a part in everyday life, and it really plays into the movie. It's really well done. It's one I highly recommend to people if you're a fan of those kind of movies, and if you're a fan of Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
So, what have you got left on yours? I've knocked out mine.
So the only ones I have left are Prizzi's Honor, which was Jack Nicholson, Kathleen Turner. I haven't seen it in years and years.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I remember liking it a lot. I thought that was really good. Bugsy, 1991, Warren Beatty and Annette Bening. Yep. I think that's where those two hooked up.
It seems par for Warren Beatty.
Yeah, 14 Oscar wins, including Best Picture and Best Actor. And that was really good. I haven't seen that in probably 15 years, but I remember I really liked it when it came out. And then Miller's Crossing, 1990. I feel like those late 80s, early 90s, there were a lot of mafia movies that came out.
It was a popular genre.
Yeah, that one was really good. Albert Finney, John Turturro. I really like that one.
Turturro is one who should be in more mob movies. But he's not in as many as you think. Yeah,
and this was again like a era piece back to Prohibition, and that was pretty good.
One I just thought of too that I don't know if it would qualify. I would think it would, even though it's actually a comic book movie. Dick Tracy.
Oh yeah,
it made me think of it when you mentioned Warren Beatty because I mean that's pretty much what he is. He's a cop facing the mob.
Yep.
So Dick Tracy would kind of work too as a mob movie.
And I'll include this, The Whole Nine Yards. I always enjoyed that. Willis.
Bruce Willis and Matthew Perry.
Yeah, I liked that. The sequel was kind of not great.
Whole 10 Yards was all right.
The first one was pretty good.
The first one is so good.
Yeah, I liked it.
That's another movie I have not seen in a long time. Long time.
I have seen it. Like I've seen it on reruns or something.
Yeah. Cool. That's a lot of great movies. I've added so many to the playlist just from this episode. But rightfully so. I mean, mob it's a popular genre of film.
When you first think about it, you think, oh, it's like Goodfellas and Scarface and Godfather. But when you get into it, there's a ton.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch we haven't even mentioned.
I know.
Like I said, there's a whole top 100 IMDb list.
That's kind of crazy.
And we've mentioned maybe 15, 20.
Yeah.
Like we're not even a quarter of the way through that list.
Right.
It's ridiculous. No, but that was great. A lot of great movies talked about in this one. Before we get out of here, I don't know. You don't host or co-host any podcasts, I don't think at the moment.
Not at the moment. I'm coming off of Handmaid's Tale, which was really a great experience to co-host that podcast. That's on House Podcastica, Handmaid's Tale edition. And that was just a great experience.
Are you going to come back when the next season of Handmaid's Tale comes back?
No one could stop me.
Oh, good. I don't
Yeah.
watch Handmaid's Tale, so I'll be honest, I haven't
Yeah.
listened because I don't want to ruin anything.
Right.
It is a show I do want to get into eventually. I was told by a number of people, if you haven't started it before the pandemic, don't start it during the pandemic because it is a dark show.
I mean, I do totally get that. There was a long period of time where I would every day I'd be like, oh, I need to catch up on the Handmaid's Tale. No, can't do that to myself today. Yeah. But I will say it's probably one of the best done shows ever. Like, it's so much, every little second of film is taken so care of, and it really is amazingly well thought out and done. I can't say enough good things about it.
And that was you did that with Jason, right?
Jason and Daphne, yeah.
Jason and Daphne. Mm-hmm. Jason, who was on the first episode of Wilhelm with me for the Essential Movies, and Daphne, who will actually be on an upcoming episode. She's going to be joining to talk about our favorite Alfred Hitchcock films. So,
you know, I just watched Lisey's story, and I kind of thought that too. Like, each episode had a lot of care taken in it. Mm-hmm. You know, I haven't read the book, so
I haven't either.
I don't know, but I really liked it a lot.
Yeah, I haven't read the book, and I haven't watched the series, so I haven't been listening to Strange Indeed either. But Paik, who was just on last week's episode, does that podcast.
Yeah, I've been listening to them the whole time. They've done a great job.
Rima,
now I want to read the book.
And Rima, who's going to be a guest on Wilhelm at some point in the future too. I think we're still trying to figure out where I know she wants to talk the Fast and Furious movies.
Oh yeah, that'll be good.
Where that'll probably be.
I mean, that could be easily
3 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that'll be like 3 episodes.
Yeah.
That's like when when Wilhelm dives into Marvel. That's like Marvel month.
Yeah.
Because it's got to be split up. There's no way to talk about all those movies in one episode.
Yep.
So, any other podcasts that you're listening to right now that you I'll let you plug any podcast, whether you've been guested on it or you're listening to it.
I've been listening to Run for Your Lives. I think they're doing some really fun stuff. I know they're recently doing Lake Placid, and they just did The Birds, which is like one of my all-time favorite movies. They're doing a really great job. That's with Daphne and Paik as well.
And they did, and I think it was 2 or 3 episodes ago for 4th of July, they did Independence Day.
Oh yeah.
Which I was on.
That was great.
And I gave listeners a treat at the tail end of the podcast.
Yeah, you that's just great. I love him. He's so great.
President Whitmore's speech.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Run for Your Lives as well, and Strange Indeed, Adrenaline Cinema, like everybody that we know that does podcasts. And I know, like, a lot of my guests early on here on Wilhelm are a lot of people that are within our group of fellow podcasters and stuff. But, you know, like 2 episodes ago, I had Steve Cooper on, who's not part of that group. And I have a number of other podcasters already scheduled to join in the next couple of weeks who aren't part of. So I like expanding out and such. So it's this has been a fun experience so far.
Yeah, it's been great.
I'm having a blast doing it.
Yeah, so. I liked Steve. I loved that music episode. That's why, like I said, I need to make a Spotify playlist for that episode. Yeah, I'm going to make it. I'm going to send it to you.
I was actually really disappointed that both Spotify and I know I'm getting off the topic of wrapping things up, but while we're talking about that music episode from 2 episodes ago, when we talked about the soundtracks, Pretty in Pink was one of the soundtracks that came up in the discussion. Both Spotify and Amazon don't have the full soundtrack. They only have like 3 songs from the soundtrack on there.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. Yeah.
It's such a great, I don't know if it's something with the rights of the music. Like I don't know, but it's kind of a travesty that they don't have that entire soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yes, I agree.
So anything else you want to promote or plug before we wrap things up?
I can't think of anything.
Okay. That's fair enough. On my end, though, as far as Wilhelm is concerned, if you like what you hear on the podcast, be sure to leave a review on whatever podcasting platform that you're listening on. The more reviews that I get, the more people that I can reach. Also, be sure to follow Wilhelm on social media, such as Facebook at facebook.com/the Wilhelm podcast, and on Instagram and Twitter at the Wilhelm Pod. Finally, if you want to be a guest or you have a topic or movie or franchise or whatever you'd like to hear me cover, in a movie you want to hear us take a deep dive in, you can let me know by messaging me on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, or you can email me directly at thewilhelmpodcast@gmail.com. I have some great episodes coming up over the next couple weeks. We're going to be talking Alfred Hitchcock, movies that take place in space, war films. We're going to take a deep dive into the movie Bad Times at the El Royale.
Wow.
We're going to talk about movies that involve time travel. I have a number of episodes scheduled that I can't wait to get to. They're going to be releasing every week new episodes, which I'm really proud of that I'm keeping this weekly, which is a lot of fun. And coming soon, I think maybe this is episode 8. So maybe by episode 10 or 15, I'm going to incorporate a feedback section. I haven't fully flushed it out yet. Once I do, you'll hear it as part of the podcast, because I do want to get more people interacting and such as well. So once that's flushed out and it gets added in the next couple weeks, you'll hear it on the podcast. So, but Wendy, thank you so much. This was I'm glad we did this. This was a great topic to cover.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I had fun.
And I was honestly kind of like nervous going into this, thinking like I this was tough. Like how do I narrow this down to 5?
It was painful to leave a few of them off.
Yeah. The Untouchables in particular was one that's like,
yes.
How could I not have that in my top 5?
Yes. And The Freshman, because I was like, that's just so great.
I think out of all the movies that we mentioned that got added to the playlist, as I know people want me to watch Scarface, I think I'm watching The Freshman first.
Well, I don't know. You have to watch Scarface.
I will watch Scarface. I make a promise. I will watch Scarface over to the court. You know what? Maybe that's what I'll make my feedback section about. Is it'll be me like giving thoughts on movies from like an episode or 2 before that I should have watched.
Oh yeah.
And then like an episode or 2 later in my feedback section, I will give my notes on having finally watched.
Right. Who was it that we know that hadn't seen The Godfather? Was it Jason?
I think it's Jason.
Yeah. That was like, how have you managed to get this far?
Yeah. So I don't know what's worse, not seeing Godfather or not seeing Scarface.
Yeah, they're pretty close.
They're both pretty bad.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, thank you again for coming on. This is great. I know we have other episodes lined up for you to come back on in the future as well. So this won't be the last time.
I think I'm doing Leading Ladies.
You are going to do the Leading Ladies.
Yeah. Wow.
That's
started on that one.
That's going to be fun too.
Yeah.
I already have a couple movies in my.
That'll be hard. Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be really difficult.
Yep.
So, but thank you everybody for listening. Thank you for the amazing feedback you guys have given me on the podcast so far. Thank you for being a part of this journey that I'm having an absolute blast on. But until next time, until the next episode of Wilhelm, we'll see you guys around that bend. Take care, everybody.